Hi, everyone. Today, I want to share something powerful, something I wish I had understood years ago. If you've ever felt like you're doing everything right with the law of attraction, but your manifestation still feels stuck, there's a reason for that. And it has nothing to do with a lack of effort or a missing technique. Today, we're going to uncover 5 hidden ways trauma quietly blocks your manifestation energy. And, more importantly, how to finally begin releasing those blocks. In this video, I'll walk you through each trauma pattern in a simple and grounded way, using real experiences from my own journey, so everything feels relatable, clear, and practical. You'll start to see why your mind, emotions, and energy sometimes pull in different directions, and how understanding this connection can transform the way you manifest, heal, and create your reality. So if you've ever wondered why certain dreams feel harder to attract, why your energy feels heavy at times, or why you keep repeating the same patterns despite all your spiritual work, this video will give you the clarity you've been missing. Before we jump in, I want to quickly share a resource that changed everything for me. If you're on a journey of healing, releasing emotional blocks, and elevating your manifestation energy, Dr. Joe Dispenza's books are some of the most powerful tools you can have. I'll leave the links in the first pinned comment if you want to explore them. These books helped me understand the science behind energy, trauma, and transformation in a way nothing else ever had. And they're perfect if you want to go deeper into what we're talking about today. The first hidden link between your nervous system and manifestation energy that almost nobody talks about. And it's the one that keeps millions of people stuck even when they're doing everything right. Because trauma is not just a memory. It's not just pain. It's not even just a story you tell yourself. Trauma is a body state, a way your nervous system learned to survive, a pattern your energy learned to hold on to, because at some point it needed to. And this is the part most manifestation channels skip. They tell you to raise your vibration, think positive, believe in abundance. But what if your body learned that abundance was unsafe? What if love meant danger? What if attention meant punishment? What if success meant exposure? Your conscious mind can want something with all its strength, while your nervous system is quietly whispering, "No, this is not safe for us." Let me give you an example that may explain why so many smart, spiritual, good-hearted people feel blocked. Think of someone who grew up always walking on eggshells. Someone who learned to anticipate other people's moods, to avoid conflict, to make themselves smaller, quieter, invisible. Maybe you know that feeling. Maybe you lived that. When that person becomes an adult and tries to manifest a bigger life, more money, more visibility, more love, they're not just trying to change their external reality. They're trying to change a survival program written deep inside their nervous system. A program that says, being seen is dangerous. Receiving too much attention gets you hurt. Having needs creates conflict. Dreaming big is a threat. So consciously, they say, I want abundance. But energetically, what their body broadcasts is, I want safety. And safety means staying small. That contradiction creates friction. Friction blocks manifestation. And you know what's wild? Most people don't even realize they're running that program. Because trauma doesn't speak the language of words, it speaks the language of patterns. You avoid opportunities. You procrastinate. You sabotage relationships. You shut down when things get good. You get anxious when things start flowing. You pick partners, jobs, friendships that confirm old wounds. And you think, why am I like this? Why am I blocked? But you're not blocked. You're protected by a part of you that learned to survive in ways you don't need anymore. This is the real hidden link. Your manifestation energy is not determined by your goals. It's determined by your baseline feeling of safety. When your body doesn't feel safe receiving, keeping, or expanding something, the universe can deliver it right to your door, and you still won't be able to hold it. Not because you're broken, not because you're failing, but because your nervous system is honest. It will always tell the truth about how safe you feel, even when your mind lies and pretends everything is fine. Here's the most important part. Your nervous system is not your enemy. It's not blocking you because it hates you or wants you stuck. It's trying to protect you with the strategies it learned a long time ago. But manifestation is not about forcing yourself out of those strategies. It's about gently updating them. Think of it like this. Your energy field is a radio tower. Your trauma sets the frequency. Your manifestations respond to the frequency, not the intention. And the first step to shifting this frequency is not repeating affirmations louder. It's not visualizing harder. It's not pretending you're fearless. It's doing something much quieter, much deeper, much more powerful. It's whispering to your body, "You're safe now." We don't live in that environment anymore. We can want more without being punished. We can grow without being hurt. We can shine without disappearing. Your energy begins to change the moment your nervous system feels truth instead of pressure. Because manifestation is not about forcing a reality, it's about becoming a match for a reality. And you cannot become a match for expansion while living in a nervous system built for survival. This is why some people manifest effortlessly, not because they're lucky or high vibration, but because their body doesn't fight what their mind wants. And this is why others, despite being deeply spiritual and committed, feel stuck. It's not their fault. It's not their mindset. It's an outdated protection mechanism. And the beautiful thing is, once you understand the hidden link, once you see how trauma shapes your manifestation energy, once you stop blaming yourself and start updating your internal sense of safety, you stop manifesting from fear. You begin manifesting from truth, and everything changes. The second hidden link, the emotional echo. When I first learned how deeply trauma shapes our emotional patterns, it honestly scared me. I realized that even after a situation ends, the body still carries an emotional echo, a vibration that continues to influence the way we think, act, and manifest. Dr. Joe Dispenza often says that elevated emotions create elevated outcomes, but what most people don't talk about is how the opposite is also true. Suppressed emotions create suppressed outcomes. Trauma leaves behind a residue of emotions we never fully processed: fear, hypervigilance, anxiety, shame, and those emotions linger in the body long after the mind believes the story is over. Let me give you an example from my own life. There was a time when everything I tried to manifest felt stuck. I was visualizing, journaling, meditating, aligning my energy, doing everything right. But something wasn't flowing. It felt like I was sending out weak signals to the universe, like my intention didn't have enough strength to create momentum. I didn't understand why until one day, during a moment of frustration, I noticed that every time I tried to imagine a better future, my chest tightened, my stomach pulled inward. I even held my breath without noticing. It was my body saying, "I don't feel safe." And that's the thing. Your manifestations can't move forward if your body is stuck in the emotional echo of the past. Trauma teaches your nervous system to expect more of what already happened, even when you consciously desire something new. So if you're trying to manifest abundance while your body still vibrates with the emotional imprint of scarcity, your energy becomes contradictory. Your mind says yes, but your body says, "I don't trust this." I started paying attention to my emotional triggers, not just the big ones, but the subtle ones. the moments when my throat tightened during a difficult conversation, or when I felt nervous sending an important email, or when I feared people's reactions before speaking my truth. Those tiny reactions were emotional echoes, remnants of old experiences shaping new ones. The emotional echo is snaky. It disguises itself as your personality. I'm just an anxious person. I always overthink. I'm very sensitive. I just don't like taking risks. But none of these are personality traits. They're emotional memories. Here's the part that changed everything for me. I realized I wasn't manifesting the life I wanted, not because I was doing anything wrong, but because I was still carrying emotions from a past version of myself. Most people think trauma is about what happens externally, but energetic trauma is about what stays internally, what the body continues to feel even after the moment has passed. So how do you heal the emotional echo? For me, the shift began when I allowed myself to observe emotions without judging them. Instead of forcing them to go away, I sat with them, not in a dramatic or overwhelming way, just with presence. When frustration arose, I acknowledged it. When fear appeared, I breathed through it. When sadness bubbled up, I let the sensation move through my body instead of getting trapped. And slowly, something extraordinary happened. Each time I allowed the emotion to move freely, I felt lighter, not just mentally, but vibrationally. My manifestations became clearer, my intuition sharpened, I felt more connected to the field of possibilities Dr. Joe talks about. There is one moment I'll never forget. During my morning routine, while repeating an affirmation, I suddenly felt tears streaming down my face, not from sadness, but from release. My body was letting go of emotions I didn't even know I had been carrying. In that moment, it felt like my frequency finally aligned with the reality I had been trying to create. That's the truth about manifestation. Your energy must match your intention, and emotional echoes distort that match. You cannot manifest abundance from a vibration of old hurt. You cannot manifest love from a vibration of fear. You cannot manifest freedom from a vibration of contraction. But once you start clearing these emotional memories, you experience a shift that feels almost supernatural. Your body moves from survival to creation. Your energy becomes coherent. Your manifestations accelerate, not because you're trying harder, but because you're finally not energetically resisting what you desire. If trauma is the hidden weight pulling your vibration down, then healing the emotional echo is the act of cutting the rope. And once you cut that rope, your manifestations stop feeling like uphill battles and start feeling like natural consequences of your energy. The emotional echo is subtle, it's powerful, and it is absolutely possible to transform it. And in the next section, I want to show you how trauma rewires your beliefs and how those beliefs silently sabotage your manifestation power without you even noticing. Because once you understand that, everything starts to make sense. Hidden link 3: hypervigilance and survival mode patterns. When most people think about trauma, they imagine a single event, something dramatic, something cinematic, something unmistakably painful. But the truth is, some of the deepest blocks to manifestation are not the dramatic moments. They're the quiet patterns we learn to survive. And one of the most invisible yet powerful ones is hypervigilance, the state of being chronically alert, constantly scanning for danger, even when nothing is actually threatening you anymore. Hypervigilance is what happens when your body has learned that the world is not predictable. It's what your nervous system does when it doesn't trust that you are safe. And while this state might have helped you survive in the past, today it silently sabotages your ability to manifest anything aligned with peace, expansion, abundance, or joy. Because manifestation requires openness. It requires receptivity. It requires surrender, the ability to let energy flow toward you without resistance. But if your system is still operating in survival mode, you're too busy defending to receive. So let's break down how this actually works. Hypervigilance is not just a psychological state, it is a physiological blueprint. Your heart rate elevates even when nothing is wrong. Your breathing becomes shallow. Your awareness narrows, not toward possibilities, but toward potential threats. You stop thinking in terms of what could go right and instead focus on, how do I keep myself from being hurt again? And here's the hidden manifestation block most people never realize. You cannot be in protection mode and creation mode at the same time. Your nervous system will always prioritize survival over expansion. So even if your conscious mind says, I want wealth, I want love, I want opportunities, your subconscious is saying, no, not yet. It's not safe. That inner conflict creates energetic turbulence, a signal that contradicts itself. And the universe responds not to your words, but to your dominant frequency. If your dominant state is fear, tension, or defensiveness, that becomes your broadcast. So how does this show up in real life? Hypervigilance makes you doubt every intuitive nudge. It makes you anticipate disappointment before anything even happens. It makes you overanalyze people, outcomes, and decisions. It makes you feel like you need to control everything or else life will collapse. This constant alertness exhausts your energetic field. It drains your emotional reserves, it short-circuits your creative flow, and worst of all, it creates a self-fulfilling prophecy where you expect danger, and so you attract situations that confirm your expectations, not because you are cursed, but because your system is looking for evidence of the familiar, even when the familiar hurts. But here's the most important insight. Hypervigilance is not a personality trait. It's an adaptation. And anything you've learned, you can unlearn. To shift this hidden block, you don't start by forcing yourself to think positive. That doesn't work for someone who has lived in survival mode for years. You have to begin with the body, with the nervous system, with the internal signals that tell you whether the world is friend or foe. One of the simplest but most transformative skills is the ability to notice when you're bracing. Your shoulders tense, your jaw tightens, your breath stops at the top of your chest. You scan the room without realizing it. This is your body whispering, I don't feel safe. And you can respond gently, without judgment, by bringing awareness back into the body. Through slow breathing, grounding, or even placing your hand on the center of your chest. As you retrain your nervous system, something miraculous begins to happen. Your frequency softens, your intuition becomes clearer, your ability to receive aligns with your intentions. You become magnetic not through force, but through coherence. Another powerful tool is micro-releasing control. Instead of asking yourself to surrender everything at once, which can feel terrifying, you focus on releasing one small thing at a time. Maybe you stop over-checking your phone. Maybe you allow someone to help you with something small. Maybe you pause before reacting. These tiny acts show your body that it is safe to experience ease. And ease is the frequency of manifestation. Because when your nervous system feels safe, your energy expands outward instead of collapsing inward. When you no longer expect the worst, you begin to see opportunities you couldn't perceive before. When your body shifts out of vigilance, your intuition becomes louder than your fear. Hypervigilance doesn't disappear overnight. It unwinds. And with every step you take toward regulating your inner world, you unlock a level of manifestation that was never blocked by your desires, only by your nervous system's need to protect you. This block doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It means there's something right with you. Your body never wanted to hurt you. It wanted to keep you alive. Now it's time to teach it that safety is not the exception, it is the new baseline. And from safety, everything becomes possible. Hidden links 4. The identity loop and the fear of receiving. If hypervigilance blocks your ability to receive, The next hidden trauma pattern blocks something even deeper: your ability to see yourself as someone who is allowed to have what you desire. Because here is a truth that most manifestation videos never talk about. The universe does not give you what you want. It gives you what you believe you are. You manifest from your identity, not your intentions. And that brings us to the identity loop, when your nervous system doesn't recognize the future you're asking for. Most people think identity is a mental concept, a story you tell yourself. But identity is not in the mind, it is in the body. It lives in your autonomic nervous system. It lives in what feels normal to you. It lives in the invisible boundaries of what your body learned to expect from life. So when you try to manifest a reality that is radically different from the environment you grew up in, your system begins to panic, not because the future is bad, but because it feels unfamiliar. Your subconscious interprets familiarity as safety, and it interprets expansion as danger. This is why someone raised in emotional chaos often struggles to manifest stability, why someone raised around scarcity resists wealth even when they consciously want it, why someone grew up unseen or ignored often feels uncomfortable with attention, recognition, or success. It's not self-sabotage, it's identity preservation. Your system is trying to keep you alive by keeping you the same. So here's the hidden manifestation block. You cannot hold a reality that your identity rejects. Your desires climb higher, but your self-concept pulls you back down. Not because you're broken, but because your nervous system is still loyal to an old version of you. This is the identity loop. It keeps you repeating patterns that match your past. You attract partners who mirror old wounds. You find yourself in financial cycles that mimic childhood instability. You manifest opportunities, then lose them because your body doesn't feel like someone who can handle them. The manifestation community loves to say, believe you already are the person you want to become. But no one talks about how difficult that is when your entire system is still wired to survive an environment you're no longer living in. Your future self cannot be activated through affirmation alone. She is activated when your nervous system begins to experience safety in expansion, safety in visibility, safety in success, safety in receiving. The identity shift starts when you allow your body to feel what your mind asks for. Small exposures, micro experiences of the new you, allowing your body to step outside the old loop long enough to expand the edges of what it considers possible. Because once your nervous system recognizes the future you're calling in as safe, it stops resisting, it stops defending, it stops blocking. And that's when manifestation accelerates, not because you started trying harder, but because you finally stopped fighting your own expansion. The fear of receiving. The most misunderstood trauma response. Most people believe their biggest block is the fear of failure. But for many trauma survivors, the real fear is the fear of receiving. Receiving love, receiving abundance, receiving rest, receiving support, receiving opportunities that feel too good. Because here's the truth, receiving requires vulnerability, and trauma teaches you that vulnerability is unsafe. This hidden block is especially powerful because it creates an inner contradiction. You want something, but receiving it makes you feel exposed. You want more money, but being seen as wealthy makes you feel like a target. You want love, but intimacy makes your body tighten with fear. You want success, but success comes with expectations you don't trust yourself to handle. You want ease, but ease feels unfamiliar, and unfamiliar feels dangerous. People don't resist receiving because they don't want the blessing. They resist because receiving requires a softness they never learned. So the body says, don't relax, don't open, don't trust this, don't let it in. Here's the hidden link. You cannot manifest what you reject on a nervous system level. If receiving activates fear instead of safety, the manifestation collapses. This hidden fear of receiving often shows up in subtle ways. You downplay your needs so no one has to show up for you. You turn down opportunities because you don't feel ready. You choose partners who need you more than they give. You stay in survival mode because thriving feels unstable. You wait for the other shoe to drop every time something good happens. This fear becomes a frequency, a quiet signal that says to the universe, I want more, but don't give it to me unless I feel perfectly safe. And since safety never arrives before receiving creates the safety, you stay stuck in an endless waiting loop. So how do you break this hidden trauma pattern? You don't start by forcing yourself to receive in big ways. You start with micro-receiving. Let someone hold the door for you. Let yourself rest 10 minutes longer. Let yourself enjoy a compliment without deflecting. Let yourself accept help without the guilt spiral. Let yourself keep the good moment without bracing for the bad one. Every small act teaches your nervous system that receiving doesn't equal danger. And here's the powerful shift. When you become someone who can hold good things without collapsing into fear, the universe sends more, because your energy is no longer defending against blessings. Trauma taught you to distrust the good. Healing teaches you to expand into it. And receiving becomes not something you fear, but something you are ready for, something you can hold, something you deserve, something you expect.
Hidden link 5. Emotional congruence. Your manifestation energy collapses when your body and your mind want different things. This might be the most surprising and the most painful hidden link. People think they are blocked because they are not thinking positively enough. They think their problem is mindset. But in trauma work and in manifestation science, mindset is only the surface. Your body is your real manifester. Your body is the one broadcasting the frequency. Your body is the one sending the signal. Your body is the one deciding whether you are safe enough to expand. And here is the hidden truth. You cannot manifest a life your body does not feel emotionally congruent with. If your mind says, I want peace, but your body is addicted to adrenaline and chaos, if your mind says, I want abundance, but your body feels shame around money, if your mind says, I want love, but your body tightens around intimacy, then your manifestation field becomes split. This split creates static. Static creates resistance. Resistance creates delays. Not because the universe is denying you, but because your signal isn't clean. You're broadcasting two frequencies at once, one from desire, one from fear. And the universe always responds to the stronger frequency, which is almost always the emotional one, not the mental one. This is why so many people say, I visualize every day, I do affirmations, I am doing everything right, but their life doesn't move. It's not because their technique is wrong, it's because their energetic congruence is fractured. And the fracture comes from trauma. Trauma teaches you to want one thing and feel another. To smile while you're in pain. To say I'm fine when you're not. To desire safety, but feel comfortable only in alertness. To desire connection, but pull back when someone gets close. Your body learned to survive by being emotionally incongruent. So when you try to manifest your next level, the system short circuits. Your mind is already in the future. Your body is still in the past. This is the emotional incongruence that blocks manifestation more than anything else. How to restore emotional congruence? Not by forcing yourself, not by bypassing your emotions, not by pretending you feel high vibe when you don't, but by learning the most powerful skill Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches: changing your feeling state through awareness, presence, breath, and neural conditioning, not through suppression. You don't need to fake being high vibe. You need to reconnect your body and your intention. When your emotions begin to match your desire, even a little, when your nervous system gets even 5% safer with the version of you you're becoming, when your body softens enough to allow the possibility, your manifestation frequency skyrockets. This is why some manifestations feel instant, because they don't trigger emotional conflict, and why some take months or years, because your body is still grieving, guarding, or defending. Manifestation is not about forcing a frequency. It is about releasing the conflict between what you want and what you feel. When your mind and body finally match, that is the moment your reality begins to reorganize.
The conclusion is, trauma does not block your manifestation. It shapes it. And here is the reframe no one talks about. Your trauma did not make you less magnetic. It made you more intuitive, more receptive, and more sensitive to energy. Your trauma did not disconnect you from manifestation. It simply shaped the way your body learned to survive. The purpose of this video is not to blame you, shame you, or tell you you're manifesting wrong. It's to show you why your mind can be in one timeline while your body is in another, and how to gently pull yourself back into alignment. Because when you understand these hidden links, when you understand identity loops, hypervigilance, receiving wounds, safety patterns, and emotional congruence, you stop fighting with yourself. You stop thinking you're broken. You stop thinking you're behind. You stop thinking, maybe manifestation isn't for me. You realize your system was protecting you, not punishing you. And once you're no longer in a battle with your own body, your manifestation field opens like a window you didn't know was locked. This is where people finally begin to experience what they've been visualizing for years, not because they wanted harder, but because they healed deeper. If this video helped you understand yourself, your trauma, and your manifestation energy in a deeper way, I invite you to continue this journey with me. On this channel, we explore manifestation through science, nervous system healing, emotional expansion, and consciousness work inspired by Dr. Joe Dispenza and others. And if you want to explore these concepts even further, I've linked some of Dr. Joe's most transformative books in the first pinned comment. Books that help you rewire your identity, regulate your emotional frequency, and expand your energetic field from the inside out. If you feel called, take a look. Sometimes a single chapter shifts your entire life. And if you're new here, welcome. You're not here by accident. You're here because something in you is ready to expand. Don't forget to subscribe because the next videos will go even deeper.